some familiar faces on the other side.
Yeah.
You know, MD Myers. You know his style of play, the way he likes to attack. Does that change the way that you guys have prepared for this match at all?
No, not really. I mean, obviously you said it's familiarity, but I wouldn't say it changes how we play or how we defend. Obviously, we kind of I know me and Graham especially and Sean, we all know his tendencies, which I mean, obviously very good player. We played with him last year, but yeah, I don't think it really changes anything with how we defend. I think we just making sure we're sharp, being compact behind the ball, and I think, like I said, we'll get something good out of the game.
You can feel the intensity around this game. Obviously, familiar faces, a big rivalry match. What does this game mean to the players from your perspective?
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously for us, obviously like you said, it's a very intense game, but I think it's just another game as well. Obviously, we didn't have the best result last week, so I think it's just something. Just getting, like I said, keep constantly improving, getting better, and obviously that's what we're going to try to do, and that's what we want to do. And Tampa's obviously #1 in the league, I think, right now, or 1 or 2. Yeah, so obviously it'd be a good game to showcase ourselves.
Coming from a center back, what stands out to you most about Tampa's attack and how they go forward?
Yeah, I think kind of like we were saying, I think they just have a lot of variety, a lot of different options. They have really good players. They have MD Myers, they have Cicerone, they have a bunch of other really good guys. So I think it'll just be, like I said, us being compact and us getting pressure on the ball from all aspects of the game. And I think, like I said, we'll do well.
You as a center back have been getting forward a lot more this year. Already have 2 assists, chances created. Do you think having a Sean Suber on board with you and Graham really helps you get forward, or what has been going into that success for you?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I just feel, especially compared to last year, I feel even more comfortable this year, kind of being in the system now for a year and a half now. So I just feel like I can kind of play more how I want to, play more like off instincts, not so much structure all the time, which good and bad, obviously. But I think, yeah, those two obviously provide really great depth and cover for me as well when I drive forward. So just, yeah, everything they've been doing has been helping me for sure.
Lastly, for me, you guys are undefeated at home, finally back at home after a long road stretch. How do you guys feel coming back to Patriots Point and playing in front of your fans? Yeah,
it's always good playing in front of the fans. Obviously, they provide like a 12th man sort of a sense for us. So yeah, looking forward to playing. Obviously, looking forward to playing Tampa because they're #1 in the league, but looking forward to playing in front of our fans even more. So.
Perfect. Thanks, Joey.
What makes MD so effective?
Yeah, obviously MD's like one of my best friends, but I think he finds the goal really well. I think he's really good in front of goal, especially. I think he's good transitionally. I think obviously he kind of has everything that you kind of would want in a striker. So just obviously the goal is to limit him in every sort of aspect, to not get him any sort of confidence or anything going forward.
I'm assuming this is not the first best friend that you played against.
Yeah, of course.
And kind of what's your mentality when you're going against a guy, that obviously you know very well and like?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're friends, but I don't get paid to have friends. So I get paid to have clean sheets and I get paid to defend. So that's what I'm going to do.
And how do you kind of counteract? You said you knew what his tendency is, but I'm assuming he knows what your tendencies are too.
Of course,
so how do you kind of play that mental mind game with him?
Yeah, I think it's just like you said, it's kind of just a mental mind game. I mean, obviously we both know like what each other are going to do a lot of the time. So I think just obviously we'll just see who plays better. Yeah.
But do you find yourself going, all right, he knows I'm going to do this, so maybe I should do that, or do you not really think about that?
No, I don't really. No, I think he would say the same. I don't really think we think about that kind of stuff. I think we just want to obviously put our best foot forward and play as well as we can. So finding a way to do that, whichever way we can.
So many new faces on the team. It's kind of, there's been some inconsistencies. Is that just kind of part of gelling together and kind of figuring out what everybody on the field wants to do and what they should be doing?
Yeah, of course. I think obviously, like you said, new team. So just have obviously different guys have different tendencies and are better in certain places on the field. So I think like I said, we're just going to keep improving, keep getting better, and I think obviously those inconsistencies will go away and we'll start putting together a string of really good results.
Okay, Coach. After last weekend in Brooklyn, how has the team been responding this week in training?
Yeah, it's been good. I think obviously disappointing performance and result last weekend, but that's been addressed. That's football. That's part of things in our process of getting better. And we've been looking forward to Tampa in these next 3 games in 8 days. We're really excited about 3 tough opponents. So, for us, it's all about just improving, getting better, especially with trying to get in behind our opponent and creating a little bit more danger and chances. But we got Tampa, big rivalry game. It's fun for the supporters. It's two of the most historic clubs in this continent. And we've been really, really good over the last few years, and they're obviously very good this year. So I think it'll be two big clubs, two big teams going for it, and I think the fans will get their money's worth.
Yeah, obviously Tampa Bay, they're coming in at the top of the table, the last unbeaten team in the Eastern Conference. What do you think about them makes them so dangerous?
Yeah, they struggled quite a bit there for a couple years, so they were very directive in their offseason. They brought in a new coach. They went out and basically got a new roster and put resources into the right players, as we know. So up top, they're very effective. As you know, MD Myers, we had here for a couple years. Russell Cicerone is as good as a winger as there is. Conway, Dolabella, Cruz, Micheletto, the guys that are playing off of the strikers are incredible. Obviously, Lewis Hilton's been one of the best center mids in the league. So they've got talent all over the place. From building off of their season halfway through when Dom came in, they're trending upward. So you got talent, you've got good accountability at the club, and you got a good coach. They're obviously going to be good. So, they want to go forward. They want to go forward quickly. We're going to have to defend better than we have been in transition. But I think it's going to be a back and forth game where both teams get chances, and hopefully we can be the team that tilts it into our favor.
Yeah, you mentioned MD Myers. There's obviously some familiar faces on the other side. Does that change the way that you guys prepare for this match at all?
Look, we're familiar with them. Our players know him from the last couple of years. Doesn't really change much of our preparation. I think the biggest thing is he's strong physically. He's the strongest striker in the league and can back into people. And obviously he works his socks off and gets in and around the box. So we know him well. He's a danger. What he does for his teammates to open them up is incredible. So we're going to have to be dialed in, but we also want to make sure we're pushing the other way with Miguel and Colton and Wilmer and Laurent and Jeremy and Malik and those guys pushing into them in our attack as well.
Do you think, have you felt a different, kind of a shift in energy at all between the guys going into this match?
I think the biggest thing right now is just honestly since probably the last week or two of preseason, every day has just been a growth mindset. So we've had good results. We won 3 in a row. Then we had a couple stinker results. Then we have a great result, Louisville. Then we have a stinker result. So we've got to drive consistency in terms of our performances and obviously the results. But to be fair to this group, each week in training, they're open to getting better. They work their socks off. So there isn't much of a vibe change. It's more just getting to business, getting ready to improve. And this week we've got Tampa, which will be a fun, exciting game.
Lastly, for me, you guys are undefeated at home. How excited are you to be back in front of the home crowd and get that energy up again?
Yeah, I think we went 4 in a row on the road. Obviously, next week we go for 6 days on a trip. So 6 out of 7 on the road is very difficult. Over 3 competitions as well is very tough to navigate. So coming back home is tremendous. We love playing in front of the Labara, the regiment, our supporters. It gives us an extra advantage that we're going to need on Saturday. So, unique kickoff time, hot weather, tough opponent. It'll be an incredible day, and hopefully for this club, a big day where we can get all 3 points.
Perfect. Thanks, Coach.
Is part of struggles, I don't know, inconsistency, is that there's so many new faces and kind of getting them to gel and come together? As last year, you seemed like everybody on the team came back last year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, look, there's definitely that. We're in a growth building period. I think there's a facade when you win 3 in a row to start the season, you have breaks and the rhythm wasn't there. So we knew the growing pains would be there. The growing pains will be there through July and August. It's just picking up as many points as possible. So part of it's growing, part of it's maturing, part of it's me doing a better job coaching, part of it's the boys, seeing out results or having certain moments that we do better in. But, what a better day to test ourselves in against the first place team and our biggest rival, especially at home. But part of that's we playing, part of it's new faces, like you said, and part of it's just us willing to get better.
All right, I preface this by saying this is a dumb question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Are the bigger concerns defensively or offensively right now with this group?
Yeah, look, we looked at it. It's a balance. If you want to be good in possession, you've got to be really tough out of possession. Our organized defending has gotten better. It's our transition defending that's been very poor. Transition defending is because our attack's not strong enough. So we have to improve in both categories. We want to be thorough trying to get behind our opponent, which obviously every opponent's going to make tough. We want to be thorough defending in transition, but if we're going to be brave and try to build the game and switch the ball around and be threatening, we're going to have turnover. So part of it's just getting a little bit better. Part of it's, limiting mistakes, and part of it's being aggressive to go get all 3 points.
Joey, how does he kind of fit into what you guys want to do defensively?
Joey, like I said, on the ball is one of, if not the best ball progressors in the league as a center back. Right foot, left foot, short, dribbling, long balls. He could do it all. Defensively, we've talked to him about, going into the fire a little bit more aggressively to stop counters and confront teams. But obviously he's tough in the air. He's a good athlete and he's a good leader. So he does it, a lot of it. We have 3 center backs that are just all so tremendous that, that's been a massive impact in the positive for us.